This is the Throttle Out Show, presented by Vixen Industries, the only show where monster truck drivers and mechanics come together to present what's happening in the monster truck community. It's the ultimate combination of torque, horsepower, and trash talk. And now for your hosts. First, straight out of the heart of Detroit Rock City, it's Kid Rock's neighbor and former driver of the BKT ride truck. It's Austin Spence. And the duo deep in the heart of Texas, it's the show owner and daughter of a man who conquered the industry for over 20 years. It's Harley Johnson, along with everyone's favorite Bryce Kenny lookalike, Austin Tweedy. So go ahead, fuel up, strap in, and remember, when in doubt, throttle out.
Hello there, everybody out there in Monster Truck World. Let's do this thing. Harley, you doing all right?
I'm doing good. I'm ready for another Sunday show here in the studio.
Well, we have got a jam-packed episode for y'all tonight, just so y'all know. Hey, where's our guy, Austin Spence? Is he on here somewhere?
I think he is.
Hey, guys.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Whoa, look at that picture. Guy. I think I know that guy.
So before we kind of get started in all the monster truck shenanigans, all of us here on the Throttle Out Show want to send a huge happy Father's Day to all those really cool dads out there. Even some of those dads have some very embarrassing pictures kind of sitting in the back of the archives. I think we know this guy, Harley. Who's this? And looks like he got kicked out of some Christian rock band.
Yeah, it does. I agree with Katie Spence here. That does look like the Bieber cut.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh. So Mr. Austin Tweedy, could you please elaborate to all of our fans here on the Throttle Out Show, what kind of midlife crisis or early life crisis is this that's going on behind me here?
All right, listen up, y'all. The year is 2012. I have just moved to Fort Worth, Texas. You know, I make some new friends, okay? I'm in a completely different area. And we were like, hey, let's start a band. And Spence, you're right. It was a Christian rock band. And our name was Smoking Banjo, and we didn't have a banjo in our band, but we just went with it. And so we had a photo shoot in downtown Fort Worth, and there you go.
There is a Facebook page for Smoking Banjo.
Oh, we gotta find it. We gotta get a plug for Smoking Banjo. But dude, it looks like you're wearing skinny jeans here, man.
I am. Yep, you're right. Yeah, the skinny jeans, some stupid vest I pulled off a clearance rack at Macy's, and that is a homemade T-shirt spray painted on there. On that T-shirt, yeah. So that's what I looked like back in 2012. So yeah, thank you for that, by the way.
Not a problem. Hey, buddy, happy Father's Day. You deserve it, and happy Father's Day to all you dads out there that may be tuning in with us tonight. But we got a huge episode to go over tonight, and I think we need a little bit of help other than just the three of us, don't you say?
I think we need somebody who's got a little bit of experience in the monster truck crewing world to break down tonight's events with us. Also somebody who's got the same humor level as us, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Paxton, Illinois. One of our very good friends, Poncho Man, Cooper Nuckols. What's going on, tough guy?
Howdy.
And it is good to have you on the show finally. You're looking good. Nice setup, by the way.
Well, thank you. It's my girlfriend's apartment that she let me move in just for the Wi-Fi.
Even better.
I just needed the Wi-Fi. That's about it. She doesn't know that, but oh well.
Well, that's awesome, man. How's things going for you right now? You do you have a week off? What happened?
It's somewhat of a week off. This is our first weekend off, coming back from Indy, but now we're just preparing to go to Kansas, and it's been really fun to just be home.
Is that
for a little
Rocky
bit.
back there?
Oh yeah, that's my dog. Oh no, that's my other dog. That's Ellie. She hasn't really seen the internet that much. Yeah, Rocky's down here. He's still mad at me about the whole losing the nuts thing. But,
I mean, I'd be too.
Ellie's over here just playing with
The
sock.
whole losing the nuts thing.
So yeah, it's about it. Ellie, there you go. She's seen the internet now.
Well, it's good to hear, because one of my favorite things that you two actually did together, you guys went to, it was some overseas show that you guys both did outside over the pond somewhere, and you guys did a video on your channel, Cooper, of the 10 patty challenge.
Oh, bro, there was two videos. There was that one, and then we had a boxing match.
Hey,
in Argentina.
Hold on. Whoa, hold on. There was 3 videos of us being pirates, if I'm not mistaken.
There was 3, but then there was all this other drama. But no, yeah, there's 3. Technically, only 2 made it. But hey, the third one might make a comeback.
Yeah, that one needs to make
man.
it. Honestly, is like my favorite one.
I
But
loved it. It was the best. It was a
and
cool
we'll
boat.
talk about that a little bit. But you know what? Let's get down to talking about some monster trucks. Damn it, the world wants to know what happened. And Spence, how many shows did you say there were this weekend?
So I want to send a huge shout out to my friend John Costa and Any Monster. He gave me a huge list of all the shows going on this weekend. Not one of them Monster Jam, other than the NASCAR race that was happening in Nashville this weekend. Which, if anybody cares, which I know, Mr. Tweedy, you don't really care that much, but the Kevin Harvick Gravedigger car finished 5th place today in Nashville. So congrats to Harvick and all them on the team. But you know, it's roundy round racing, and we don't really care much about that. So as far as monster truck shows, which everybody is here to tune in for, there was 24 independent monster truck shows going on in the U.S. this weekend alone, and one in Australia. We got a lot to go over tonight.
The Australia one amazes me.
Yeah, it was very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, and we will not be talking about NASCAR any longer because we do not care about that on this show.
What's your favorite turn?
Right.
Oh, good one. Good
You
one.
like turn 1 or 2 or 3 or I'm kidding. No one cares.
I tell you what, let's start off the top of our list, y'all. We got a little checklist that we're running down. The Lake Erie Speedway show. Okay, this was supposed to be a really important show for us to cover, and guess what? We didn't find any video footage from this weekend, but we do have a picture somewhere, I believe, Harley, from the Friday night show. It looks like, according to Brandon Budd, they are harvesting onions 3 wide in this picture, and Brandon Budd actually takes the victory that night in racing. Fun fact, I think, let's see, according to this breakdown, he lost to Too Tall in the very first round. Okay.
Go Too Tall.
So he moved in Jurassic Attack. He's right there in the middle picture. So Brandon Budd and Buckshot loses to Too Tall first round. He moves into what's called the losers bracket at night. They were actually calling that bracket the Tournament of Death, which is a badass name for a round of monster truck racing, if you ask me. And in that tournament, that losers bracket, they actually raced 4 trucks wide, not just 3 as you see in that picture. 4 trucks wide.
4?
That's right.
And this is a straight line course, right?
And a straight line course. That is correct. Like I said, I was dying to get some video footage of that week or that race, and I couldn't find anything.
How many jumps did they have?
I think
I
like
don't
2,
know.
right?
Like 2 or 5? If it was 5, that would be crazy to see.
Yeah, so this show took place, obviously, Lake Erie Speedway, but the All-Star Monster Truck Promotions was the one that put on that entire show, which I've been to a few of All-Star shows, and they actually put on a really good show for very small venues. So for them to take over Lake Erie Speedway, I mean, that was a really awesome show.
Yeah. So Brandon Budd moves past the Tournament of Death, and he actually goes on and wins the entire damn show on Friday night. So that's all I got from that show. I know there was a show yesterday, but like I said, I couldn't find anything on it. Now, let's move on down to what some of us like to call Land Down Under in Australia and talk about what happened in Brisbane, Australia. Austin, you got any notes? I got plenty of stuff to talk about on the show, but Harley, you go ahead and roll that
have a
beautiful
video
foot.
for it?
Yes, we do.
This
Go.
one?
Yep, that's it.
So one of the
Start
fun
down with
things
that.
about this Monster Truck Mania is I think this just goes for any monster truck promotion outside the United States. They don't put a lot of thought into the names of their trucks, like at all. Because here's the list for anybody that's wondering. So you had Wicked, which obviously Wicked, I think, was a Christensen truck for forever ago. And then you have got Raptors Rampage. Okay.
Are those mini trucks?
That's
yeah,
right.
it looks like
Any
those
monster?
are powered by Honda Civic motors or something. And then you have the Scooby-Doo look-alike, and they call it Buddy. It's Buddy.
They totally stole the hood.
You're right. And then we move on over to another truck called Miss Mayhem, which was the first truck you guys kind of saw. And then right here, you've got Tropical Thunder, or I guess it'd be Tropical Thunder because they don't pronounce their R's over there in, Land Down Under. And then you have Monster Lubricants, I believe. Right. But this is to say the least, this is a unique arena style, to say the least. I mean, there's a lot of room to kind of open the trucks up, but not a whole lot to really do.
No, it was a very interesting setup from what I saw. Like I said, that arena, the seating and everything, the lighting, it's a really neat venue, but not a lot of room for the trucks to move around. Now you're talking about that lineup of trucks. I actually didn't see anything anywhere where Monster Lubricants was at the Friday night show. I think he was, but I didn't see much of the racing highlights. So I'll get down to the racing highlights right now. On the first night, you saw that truck that's called Buddy. Okay, Buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Is a Scooby-Doo lookalike truck. It looks like we would have took some body pieces from a broken down, like rolled over Scooby-Doo truck, and we tried to fiberglass it ourselves and make it work. And that's what Buddy looks like. No offense, but that's what it is. It's a knockoff of the Scooby-Doo truck. Buddy actually won racing both nights, both Friday and Saturday night. The Saturday night show, Buddy met up with Monster Lubricants, with no relation to Monster Energy and any other oil company in America. But actually, Monster Lubricants blew an engine Saturday night show in the final round of racing, so automatically the win goes to Buddy.
They do an engine swap.
They did not do an engine swap. No,
Didn't even try. Jesus, Murphy.
And then I don't know about the Friday night show who won freestyle, but Tropical Thunder from the land down under won freestyle Saturday night. And then they had some type of long jump competition that Monster Lubricants won, I believe, both nights. But what is really motivating to me is to see that they are putting on these shows in Australia. Whereas, as y'all saw, they got many monster trucks as well, freestyle and motocross, and that place was packed out. There wasn't people down there wearing face masks. People are ready to see the world get back to normal, and we're seeing it all the way down in Australia. I love it.
So I got a question for both you two, because I've obviously never been outside of the U.S. while employed at Monster Jam. And I know you guys have, done some international shows here and there. So like in the US, not every single Monster Jam show is typically an all Monster Jam lineup. There's typically some independents that kind of come in to help fill the roster. So when you guys go over to different shows, are there actually other independents, depending on where you go, that also come in and be part of the roster?
Coop, you want to answer that?
I mean, I haven't seen any independent whenever I was there that I remember. It was really just all Monster Jam trucks that I remember. That's about it. I don't remember any independent, but that would be cool if there was some independent trucks that were there.
So if we're being honest here, now that I think about it, I think Coop and I have only ever done overseas shows with each other. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's about it, honestly.
Yeah. And those shows, there were no independent trucks, but you are right, Spence. There are some independents that show up more towards Europe, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
So.
Yeah, and so we never had any run-in with any independents on
that would have been cool, though. Not gonna lie.
I was just curious because you see that Australia is huge for horsepower. They have this thing it's our winter, their summer. The summer Nats is just this huge burnout competition. Literally just thousands of horsepower in cars solely just to burn tires off. Like that's it. Not for racing or nothing like that. And seeing that, they have like monster trucks, like they kind of do a little bit in Europe. And it's just like, are they somewhat close to the same caliber as what we have over here? Probably not as close, but at least somewhat close to maybe the stuff you'd see at, say, like a throwdown show.
Yoho's watching tonight, and he's talking about Peter Nyman, who actually ran an Earthshaker body a couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Steve Wyszynski watching tonight, talking about Peter Nyman as well. I'm surprised Yoho
Peter
just use this hashtag. He's got little stickers he likes to post everywhere throughout the state.
I still have mine somewhere. I haven't posted it on anything yet, but no, I was just curious because I've only been planted here in the United States, but we'll quit talking about everything over across the seas, because that was just one show that happened this weekend. So coming back over here to the United States, the Metal Shop debuted one beautiful truck over there at the Metal Shop, and they had their own, and it debuted at their very own show in Delmar, Delaware, the Monsters of Metal show that they put on. And Mr. Papa Disharoon got back behind the wheel after how many years was it that he has been out of the seat? Like,
I don't know, but this is him right here taking on Ryan, and this is qualifying.
Wait, we're talking about like the father of him?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's his truck. That's his brand new truck, smoking.
That's
That is
him in the
cool.
far lane.
God dang.
Absolutely beautiful truck. But Ryan is just on a whole nother level when it comes to his driving style. That guy can drive the wheels off of damn near anything.
Ooh.
He is. And here you see Nick Pagliarulo taking to the freestyle track. Sparks flying out. Got the brakes. I don't know if there's out of alignment or if he was just cramming on him a little too hard on that.
Shut him off.
But this ended up looking like a really good show. Now, just to name just a few of the events that took place there, you clearly had Monster Truck Racing, you had Monster Truck Freestyle, but they also had the Mega Trucks there, y'all.
So I kind of want to talk about Smoking a little bit. So this was Smoking's like debut event. Went out for freestyle, did 3 hits, and rolled the truck. You hate to see it, but that's the nature of the beast. I mean, we put a post out there on our Instagram because what was it? Storm Damage recently got a brand new paint scheme. Not entirely sure if it was for that show or what show that was for, but it looked great. It was like kind of like a throwback to 70s, 80s paint scheme. I loved every second of it. And then you look at Smoking, just this black and white airbrush. Trey Myers did an absolute phenomenal job on both of those trucks. And to see one of them with all the just little details just go out, 3 hits, and it rolls over, you just hate to see it, man.
So now that you say that, I've got a question. So Papa Disherin, is his name Rick? Is that who it is?
Rick Disherin, yep.
So now that he's back behind the wheel again after a long time, an absence, of being behind the wheel, does that mean he's a rookie again? Do we consider him a rookie again?
Yes.
I don't know. After rolling a truck in 3 hits, it looked like a rookie move.
Yes.
Rookie mistake. You hate to see it happen.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, hate to see it. But you're right. They had. So let's go through everything that was going on. So Scott Douglas was also commentating. Mr. Scott Douglas was commentating that entire show. Gotta love it. So the entire lineup, for anybody who's curious, was Smokin', Saigon Shaker, Jester, Kraken, Stone Crusher, Hooked, and Virginia Giant. Another beautiful truck, mind you. And it looked like they also had mega trucks, including King Sling, driven by Dennis Anderson, and Bog Hog with Weston Anderson. Now, I didn't really see the entire lineup as to what other mega trucks were there, or if there was. I didn't see really anything posted as far what the mega trucks did. Didn't you, sweetie?
Nope, we didn't see anything like that. What I do know is that Jester ended up winning racing at the show. We caught a clip of the final round of racing. Drivers were just going 90 miles an hour at that St. Louis style racing. And then for freestyle, fans actually cheered for Ryan Disherin and Saigon Shaker to win, but Nick Pagliarulo really did lay down a fantastic freestyle, and Ryan gave the trophy to Nick, just saying like, hey, you really earned this. I didn't. And which is a huge sign of respect for somebody who acknowledges the younger drivers who are going out there working just as hard as the veterans and showing the veterans up. Team Tomfoolery had a stellar weekend because not only did they do that show Saturday night, the night before, they were at Bristol with Dude Perfect. And I don't even know what happened at that show, for being honest. Did they even do racing, or was it just like a stunt show? What was it?
No, they let one of the guys from the Dude Perfect group drive Jester, and then Nick went out and did a freestyle in Kraken, from what I saw.
Gotcha.
It was a bunch of
cool
randomness that happened.
So it wasn't really. So basically, it's kind of like a great value version of Nitro Circus Live.
Yeah. That's
You throw a basketball out the window and make it in a hoop.
No, who pays to go see that? It's like, yay, I'm like thousands of feet away in the stands in the Grand Coliseum. Like, yeah, I want to see a dude shoot a basketball. No, that's stupid.
I mean, I would. I mean, the Dude Perfect guy's pretty cool.
Of the people, like if you're a fan of Dude Perfect, then you probably go. But
I didn't even know who they were till I saw that post.
I didn't
up
either.
there. So,
You need to do some research.
I'm sorry. I'm one of those guys that like lays under a rock. If it has nothing to do with cars on YouTube, I know nothing about them.
Check this out. There was plenty of people there this weekend.
Did they get their money back? Kidding.
They have.
I'm kidding, Yoho. I'm sure you did great. That'd be awesome to see
Hey,
Yoho.
I'm just saying, I don't know what they sold tickets for at that show, but if they just sold them at $20 a pop, they did just fine this weekend.
Wait, was it just
What?
for that?
I believe so.
To my knowledge, Yoho, if you can hear us right now, I mean, we
like, what else was in the show?
yeah.
There was Demolition Derby.
Oh, they're worth it. Worth it.
Something else.
There's another lineup for Monster Truck Throwdown to meet. Actually, Mister, I just saw the question popped up by Brendan Patina. Yes, I have seen the lineup. I'll actually get it up right now because I'm going to be going to that show and I'm super excited. It is a stacked lineup for Monster Truck Throwdown, and I cannot wait. But while I find that, you guys can go on and keep talking about everything else that happened and Dude Perfect and basketballs and other stupid crap. So give me a second.
Yeah, Dude Perfect. They're perfect.
They're perfect dudes.
Where we go? Oh, there we go. Damn, all the hate on Dude Perfect. That's just
I like them.
Just
From-
Spence. It's not anyone
from this
anyone
asshole
else.
right here. We were huge fans of the event. We
Hey,
can't
don't
wait to
see
see
Steve's
video
profile.
footage. Team tomfoolery. Come on with it. We're ready to see it.
Do y'all see Steve's profile right there with his new mustache?
I
Looking like-
love the Dale Earnhardt mustache that
Yeah.
he's rocking. I'm just saying, do it for Dale. Love it.
It is the greatest thing ever, and hope
So-
he never shaves it.
So going back to Brendan's comment here. So this is actually going to be a very stacked lineup, and I cannot wait to go. So as far as right now, it is Avenger, Jim Kohler, Crush Station, and Greg Wickenbach. Overboard, it still says Jamie Gardner, but we heard that he is currently injured, and so they may have somebody fill in for him in that show. We're not sure. Brutus by Chris Kohler, Samson, Rick Stevens, sorry. Miss Overboard by Deidre, Reckless Driving with Jeremy Hausman, Lumberjack with Tom Durkee, and it says there's more to be announced. So there may be more already. Yes, it is a stacked lineup for a throwdown show for next weekend.
If it's throwdown, I would imagine Elliot would have his truck there, whether he's driving it or not. I don't know.
Unless his neighbor destroyed it again, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But that is a stacked lineup of show, and looks like yours truly, Austin Spence, is going to be giving us the coverage for that show. So
100%.
hell yeah.
So anyway, sorry about that. On
Now-
the wife's
You're good, bro.
What are we looking at?
What's this?
So we move on
Who's
from
Tom?
Who is Tom?
Because there's a Tom at that show, at the Throwdown show. Didn't
So
he?
yeah, he is Greg Wickenbach's like second guy. He's actually in the Monster Truck Throwdown yearbook, I believe. He is like either crew guy or the second driver or something for the lumberjack truck. Haven't heard much about him, but maybe he might be able to throw it down come next weekend. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So
Now,
let's move forward right now to, I don't know how you pronounce this, the Sauk Rapids, Minnesota show at Granite City Motor Park. Now, we got some special photos from a fan now at the Throttle Out show. They messaged us. They hooked us up with some photos and the coverage of what happened at the show this weekend from Lynn Lampa. You can check them out at Lampa18 on Instagram. They hooked us up with some beautiful footage. Harley, you can go ahead and roll it. What you need to know about the show is monster trucks don't come to Minnesota all that often. So it was really nice to see them back in action in Minnesota. Tanner Root returned to the seat driving Overkill Evolution this past weekend. The Friday night show, Team Vodders, I don't know which two trucks it was, but Team Vodders lost 2 engines in their trucks. So they wrenched all night, put 2 brand new bullets back in their trucks, went back out, and still faced more mechanical issues for that show.
it looked like they had all 4 Vodders trucks out there. Just looking at all the screenshots, we got Overkill Evolution, Black Stallion, the higher education, the school bus truck. I've never see it that often, so I'm sorry. And then you had Iron Warrior. So all 4 Vodders trucks apparently were there for that show. That's awesome.
That's right. And then it looked like Tricky Ricky ended up winning the weekend, winning the main trophy that you get for winning, I don't know what you call the overall for the weekend, if that's what you want to call it.
There you go. I'm glad you were able to get that out there. But the one truck I saw in those pictures that I haven't seen in years was Mechanical Mischief. I didn't even know that truck was still around anymore.
Yeah, I don't know much about how well the truck performed this weekend, but you're right. I haven't seen that truck in a long time.
So now another thing I want before we get into the Big Daddy show that happened this weekend, and we do mean the biggest show this weekend that went on. Monster Truck Throwdown had a show in the Upper Peninsula at the the Upper Peninsula Fairgrounds. Unfortunately, that's a little bit of a drive for me, so I wasn't able to make it this weekend. But a very interesting competitor decided to show up out of Sturgis Motorsports. Jacob Ladwig rocking Rat Attack, the Corvette monster truck, driving all the way from Arizona
Holy
for
crap.
a throwdown show in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. That is incredible. Unfortunately, there is hardly any. I think there's a bunch of Amish people in the UP. I've never been up there, so I don't think there's anybody that knew how to work a cell phone to get pictures or anything. So unfortunately, there wasn't much really posted other than what was on Monster Truck Throwdown's account on social media. But I just thought that was a really cool thing to see, that someone from way out in the West Coast, in the way bottom of the country, coming all the way up here for a show for Throwdown.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that show's far for you. So it takes a lot to make an independent monster truck team work, especially if you are self-sponsored. You don't have the big corporate money coming in, and they're making that trip all the way out there. That just shows their passion and their love for the industry, want to put on a good show for the fans. That truck's been around for a long time, and clearly they're not going anywhere. Making that haul just to put on a monster truck show, they love monster trucks.
All right, y'all. You ready to get into the meat and potatoes?
I like potatoes.
Let's get into it. All right,
Show
sweetie.
Everybody wants the inside scoop on. I say let's get down to it.
All right. So this weekend, last weekend we had, what was it? The big Springfield, Missouri show. As we know, Mr. Zach Gardner was able to retain his title of King of Springfield. And on top of that, leaving due to emergencies or something going on in Indianapolis, going up there, body swapping his truck for his dad, coming out and winning a freestyle, I believe. Was it a freestyle or is it two-wheel? I'm not 100%. Freestyle. Okay. So kids dominating. The very next weekend is the big Miami, Oklahoma show by MAP Productions. This is without a doubt one of the biggest independent shows of the year.
That's Cole Vernard, Black Pearl.
Usually rolling over.
Look at the double. Here he goes. Mr. Zach Gardner.
He was ready to take that title away from Devin Jones this weekend. That's Devin Jones in Barbarian's hometown, and he always wins that show. It doesn't matter who's there. If it's the Bigfoot camp, if it's the Garner camp, whoever, Devin Jones always goes out and drives like Gravedigger or Maximum Destruction to win that show each and every year. And
Rigged.
Here we had somebody come in and take everybody. I don't want to say by surprise because Zach Garner is on a flipping roll right now.
I like Zach.
The Friday night show, oddly enough, that was Corey Rummel you saw driving just then. Corey Rummel and Zach somehow both won freestyle Friday night. That's what happened. The fans cheered off and they couldn't decide who won, so they gave the victory to both of them Friday night.
Oh, is that how they score?
Yeah,
They cheer?
They do a cheer off.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't do that Monster Jam. They just hey, text us. Anyway,
Now, interestingly
yeah,
enough,
you know.
the man, the legend, Mark McDonald returned to the seat this weekend and did not disappoint. He won racing both nights, driving Jamie Garner's overboard truck with a brand new motor because he blew an engine last weekend in Indy. And he goes out and wins racing both nights. And to my knowledge, he actually, I believe, was runner-up for winning King of Miami. He competed that damn well this weekend, y'all.
That's pretty cool.
oh my goodness. Loading you. I thought I had all the results. Unfortunately, my phone is not wanting to cooperate. My apologies. Because one of my good friends and okay, here we go. So the Friday show, they have a wheelies, racing, and freestyle competition is essentially what they did here in Miami, Oklahoma. Again, thank you, Indie Monsters, for sending me all the updates and results for everything that happened. So Friday, wheelies went to Mr. Zach Gardner. Racing went to Mark McDonald in overboard, and freestyle, like you just said, was a Zach and Corey tie for a cheer off. Saturday, wheelies actually went to Cole Vernard and Black Pearl.
Okay.
Racing went back again to Mr. Mark McDonald in overboard, and freestyle went to Mr. Devin Jones, as you saw in those amazing clips, in Barbarian. But we said, I believe the overall went to, I believe Zach Gardner. Zach Gardner still retains king for both Springfield and Miami. Absolutely crazy.
The guy's on fire right now. He's clearly a young guy. He's 20 years old. And he's just out for blood right now. It doesn't matter where he goes. Clearly, he proved last weekend that he would go to Springfield, win King of Springfield. Then just for the hell of it, just goes out and does a Monster Jam Stadium show and wins freestyle at the Monster Jam show. Coming into this weekend, takes Devin Jones' King of Miami title away from him. Zach Garner is on point right now, y'all.
I'm just saying it is going to be an insult if when 2022 Monster Jam apparently comes back full swing, if they put Zach Gardner in an arena series again, I swear to God, it is just, the kid has so much talent. He is capable of doing so much. He is literally world finals champion material. I want to see this kid compete in a stadium series 1000%.
Cooper, we talked about this before on the show, Cooper, but you have somebody like Zach. I've always wondered, what would have Ryan and Adam Anderson look like if they were brought up in the independent world, right? We know Tom was brought up in the independent world and absolutely just slated,
Dominated.
Patrol.
Yeah.
What would have Ryan and Adam look like? Maybe they look like Zach Garner.
I could see the same thing almost. Yeah, the name takes it away a lot for sure. But if they came into the independent world, I could see about the same thing. I would bet money it would be the same way just because of the name. Almost.
Mm-hmm.
That's just,
almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see the kid in a stadium series, and I would, you know what, Tweety? This might be a bit of an insult, and I'm sorry because I know he's your buddy. I'd put Zach Gardner above Todd LeDuc.
Oh.
I'm just gonna leave the conversation there. I don't know. Todd came out wearing his golden chain, and that really gave him a lot of up into the show Indy. So it's questionable if he continues to wear the golden chain. It's going to be questionable.
I don't care how much bling you got. Bling don't buy talent.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Todd didn't get to just drive his dad's truck out on a test field and become number one. He had to learn it the hard way. So
this is also true.
I don't want to hear it.
It's also true.
Well, so speaking of other drivers, we have kind of another big announcement that we have to make. And honestly, we couldn't have made it this far without all of your guys' support, everybody watching tonight. And I wanted to be the first to say, we did it. We hit 700 followers on Instagram. And guess who was the first person to share the news that we finally reached our goal of 700 followers? Mr. Bryce Kenny. Mr. Tweety, it's time.
I know. What y'all need to really know, what you need to understand is it's happening. It's already in the works, but my hair really isn't. It's not very long
we need
right
to let
now.
it grow out a little bit more, so
Yeah.
he looks exactly like.
He's already rocking the full mohawk, guys. Like, dude, like no joke. Tweety, when you sent me that picture the other day, you look like Chuck Liddell.
I know.
That's like it's perfect.
It's too short on top. That's just it. If I dye it purple, it's just gonna look weird. Not that a purple mohawk, looks normal by any means, but I'm just saying I'm gonna look like Chuck Liddell, but just with the purple hair. So I want to let it grow just a little bit longer. But you're right. I already got the mohawk. I'm gonna keep the sides shaved down, and I'm gonna rock it before too much longer. I'm gonna walk into great clips. Thank everybody for working hard, and I got a Mohawk Warrior Crew shirt. And
Cody's asking for it. Do it. Do it. There you go. See, we're getting places. It's coming back.
You go Pokemon Evolutions. You got Tweety, Chuck Liddell, and then Neil Elliott. Throw that down the line.
Perfect. But hey, man, it's gonna look good when you're done. But hey, I know Mr. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I know Cody Spencer's tuning in tonight, and I know everybody's been talking about shave the beard, shave the beard, shave the beard. First of all, I'm not shaving the beard. I'm also not dyeing it either because it'll look terrible. I do have something in mind, but you guys are also gonna have to wait for it. That's all I gotta say. So my mom is even saying, no, it'll look like Barney the dinosaur. Hey, that's fine. That's totally fine. We're okay with that. Sometimes I think she likes you more than me, man.
Hey, your mom's awesome.
Don't tell her that. And anyway, so
stop the Chuck Liddell nonsense.
So anyway,
talk about our boy Cooper Nuckols. We got a lot to talk about still. So we're kind of wrapping up the monster truck talk for a little bit, and now we're gonna invest some time into Poncho Man's life.
Shoot.
First of all, where in the blue hell does the name Poncho Man come from?
South America, Argentina.
I mean, I know, but you got to explain it to everybody.
Well, we were in Argentina, walking through the mall, and it was a overseas show. We were walking back to the hotel, and then we found this boxing ring. It was like a boxing gym, but there was a ring right outside, and we're like, "Hey, we gotta make a video." So we decided to. I think it was the next day. Was it the next day or the day of?
No, we went there the next day because we had to figure out if we could even get in there.
Yeah, that's also true. We threw the guy 20,000 pesos. If anything, we're like, hey, I got 10,000. Tweety's got 10,000. Here you go. Let us box real fast.
He had no idea what we were up to. He was just like, "Oh, okay, yeah." We gave him the money, and he was fine.
We had literally 24 hours, if not less than that, to come up with nicknames, boxing attire, and to get to the boxing ring. So Tweety was what is it? Tweetyberg?
Tweetyberg.
Yeah, Tweetyberg.
Tweety Bird.
And then I had a poncho that I bought going into Argentina. And then we were just rambling off names, and I was wearing the poncho, and somebody said Poncho Man. So we're like, we're going with that. So we shot a promo video in the hotel the night before, and then the day of, we went to the boxing ring. We started boxing. We started getting weird looks outside. So we're like, hey, we should probably get this over with. So Tweety knocks me out. And we gather up our shit and we run out to the hotel to make sure we made it safe and all that. All shot on an iPhone, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Edited, made it all, posted it as soon as we got back to America. And then I guess just Poncho Man stayed, to be honest. So we just went with that. I haven't done anything with him, the character, in a while, but I do want to have a rematch boxing match.
That would be, we could do it and beef it up a little bit more with Poncho Man, Cooper Savage, and Tweetyberg. Maybe we get Big Papa Spence involved as like a ref.
I am down. I am so down.
Perfect. I mean, I have a ref shirt because I used that for a video when I had Cody Palmer and John Sanfilippo fight. No, it was Steve Lashinsky in a Colonel Sanders outfit fighting John Sanfilippo in a chicken suit.
I know what you're talking about.
And Palmer came in because he was a ref, but he stone cold thundered Sanfilippo and busted his lip with a beer can. It was awesome.
Go to Tim Hall's comment. You're right. Yeah,
Tim Hall was there.
He was there with us. He and Jake Cannon. Was there anybody else? Or Lexi was.
Obviously. Lexi was there. She was the one that was filming and all that. That was the big start of my like filming stuff and making a video, making videos.
And just so everybody knows, we talked earlier about how we made 3 videos and it got banned. Well, if
something happened,
taken because of Tim Hall Jr. Was got banned, or was there an additional video that got banned?
There was a video that he commented earlier where he got slapped in a video. We made 4 videos and only 2 made the sunlight.
That's right.
Because someone was wearing something they shouldn't have. And the other one apparently was disrespectful and we didn't know. So we were like, all right, we won't show it.
Damn it.
No. I blame Tim. It's been a grudge match, and so I'm going to challenge him to a one-on-one street fight legally. That'll be in the future.
Yeah, Tim was in the boxing video as well. He was like one of our trainers, I think. Might have been.
He was your trainer. I don't even know who I had. I had Matt.
Jake Cannon.
Was it?
Jacob Cannon, yeah.
Yeah, he was not that good. I lost. So now I challenge him to a one-on-one street fight.
So we start off figuring out about Poncho Man. Harley, why don't you go ahead and play his video?
Oh, what video?
Team Max Fire winning some cool stuff. Then we're moving on to you and Lexi in front of Scooby Doo. This is all from this past season.
There's T-Dog.
The ringleader of the Frosty Boys channel, Poncho Man, Cooper Nuckols.
Yo, all them beers sucked, by the way. Oh, that was a good year. I chose the flat tire because it's easier to get on.
And then, hey, pause it on this real quick. Can you?
Whoa, what? You were on a Gravedigger?
Yeah, I bounced all over the place. Yo, so Randy Brown, I crewed for him in the South America tour, and he messed with me a lot.
I can see that.
It was my first like big name truck that I like solo crewed on. So the worst thing to ever happen is a fuel cap not being on a truck.
That is
Oh,
the
no.
absolute worst. Yes.
The worst. And especially when you're not the one who did it.
Mm.
I had a body guy. So there's a lot of damage the night before the show.
Okay.
And I was helping Lexi fix the Max D body. And the body guy came up like, hey, do you need fuel in your truck? I said, yeah, sure. Go ahead, fuel it. And he never put the cap back on.
Ah.
Oh.
So first round racing, we're out. And he's like, hey, what happened? And I'm sitting here like, yeah, the fuel cap's not on. My bad. I don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared. Which I mean, everyone does it. Steve did it last weekend in Indy.
Everybody has done it.
Oh,
at some
calling out
point.
Lashinsky. All right.
Oh,
he had
hey,
a bad week, but hey, we all
I did it. I did it on the exact same tour. That was the one and only time I've ever done it. Because believe me, once you've done it, you will never make that mistake
Oh,
again.
you always check it after that. So
Oh,
this,
Lashinsky's pissed.
so the next week we go to Brazil, and at this point we're kind of comfortable with each other, and this is when he starts messing with me. After like intros, he goes, "Hey, I got a problem." I'm like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "My AC unit went out," and I'm like, "What?" So I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, I have no air. So immediately I thought he was like one of them kitty cat drivers that has to have the fan in their helmet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, so that went out. So I'm going to like Lexi, like, hey, his AC unit went out. What fuse is that actually? Like, I've never messed with that. And they're like, what do you mean AC unit? So I go on the radio, like, hey, I got a fuse for your AC unit. We'll get that as soon as you're done with this round of racing. So apparently we lost because he couldn't stop laughing at me. But after that, I've always carried a 30 amp fuse in my pocket just for an AC unit.
Hell yeah.
To go out in the truck. But no, that was a good year. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of fun.
That was a crazy tour, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But Harley, go ahead and keep rolling the video because here's another clip. We're talking about this
the
earlier.
worst thing ever, but I'm always down to redo it.
Our press conference from the 10 Patty Challenge. You can check that out on the Frosty Boys channel on YouTube. Me and Cooper, or me and Poncho Man, go at it. We go to this McDonald's, which is honestly, when we were in Brazil, I think that was the only restaurant that we went to. It was the closest place to the hotel. It really wasn't safe to go out much further from that anyway. So we just went to that McDonald's. We figured out we could add 10 patties to our burgers. We did a challenge. We made a video. It was awesome. It was delicious, believe it or not, because they had to make so many damn meat patties fresh. That was the best burger I've ever had from McDonald's. I'll be honest.
The best part was at the beginning of the video, we can see someone like picking at their hair or their nose while they're making the food. It was awful. But no,
and then they bring out the fucking burger or whatever, and the lady's looking at me. She's like, "Is this right?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, that's right. You just need to go ahead and give it to me." And
yeah, she looked very like confused.
Spoiler alert, I won't tell you who won, but we both finished those burgers.
Yes, we had like a 12-minute time limit, I believe.
12 minutes? Was that how long your guys' lunch break was?
10. Huh?
Was this like during a lunch break before you guys had to go back to the stadium, or
I think we had a day off.
Yeah, we say off day. It was one of those days where we weren't racing. Let's just say
because we were going from Brazil, Argentina, and
Peru.
No,
I thought it was
maybe Chile.
Chile. Yeah,
I was Max. I didn't bring chili to Chile and eat it.
Was it cold? Was it?
No. It was actually really hot. It was the worst.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there.
No, you go for it.
Talk about something that we've talked about once on the show. It didn't actually make it to YouTube. So Cooper, we're gonna talk about it right now. We're gonna talk about what in the hell happened at the Argentina show.
What part?
Okay, so day one was fine with the exception of Steve Sims did a backflip in Monster Energy and completely crushed the entire front end of the truck, and everybody had to work all night. With the exception of that, okay, because the next day is when all the flipping chaos started, because the whatever you want to call it, the city soccer team there in Buenos Aires, Argentina, or whatever. Their championship or whatever. I don't know if it was a national champ or a world or whatever, but they won their title. So there was going to be this huge celebration in downtown Buenos Aires, just where our hotel was. And they ended up moving up the Monster Jam show for that reason. The promoter moved the show up and did not notify any fans who bought tickets.
Yeah,
So when that show that was supposed to start at like 7 o'clock or something started at 3 o'clock, people
I was confused about it as well.
Thinking that they're showing up in time for pit party, and they're showing up as freestyle is going on. Oh my goodness, there were a lot of pissed off people.
I thought one of the parents was going to throw their kids at us. They were that mad. Like he was about to launch his kid.
No, so we were in loadout, and this was just weird because, like I said, they had moved the showtime up anyways. Could you imagine, Cooper, if they didn't? Because we had to have all of our stuff loaded out by a certain time anyways. We had to do like a world record loadout in like 2 hours. So it was messed up from the get-go. But as we're tiring down all that, yeah, people were throwing rocks at us. Kids were actually throwing rocks at us as we were tiring down.
Yeah, it was actually really scary whenever the the security that they give us, like, because we always got security there that can translate / let us know what's going on. It's scary when they go, hey, if they go past the barrier, run. Like, all right.
Man.
Oh my god.
He's like, you keep working, but if it happens, just run.
So we're working. Kids are throwing rocks at us.
They were throwing rocks.
Point, we noticed they weren't throwing rocks at us anymore. We were like, okay, look up, and everybody around that barricade, let's see, like 100 people, whatever, all huddle up. And we're like, holy crap, they are making a plan to wash the gates and come after all of us. So we had to come up with a huddle. Like Tim Hall Jr. said, they were pissed. We had a rock thrown at the Monster Energy backing into the container. That's right. They were throwing rocks at us. So we had to come up with a game plan. Like, okay, we're going to be loading trucks in. If they decide to break the gates and come after us, the guy who's backing in the truck, what we can do is lock him in the container with, while he's inside the truck, and at least that one person is safe. But the rest of us, we all got to fend for ourselves.
Yeah.
So never mind the fumes coming from the truck in a solid container. Okay.
That is brutal. No, that is very brutal having to do that.
It just sucked because it's not like, because I was just mad that they were mad at us. It's like we couldn't control it. Nobody could control it.
Yeah.
It's just one of their things. Like when they had the soccer team won, so they set up a night before. So when we left in the morning, they were already setting up, and we looked at the barricades like, oh, that's kind of weird. But that was just, they won, and there was still a riot. But if they would have lost, we might not have made it to the hotel. No, it just sucked that they were just upset. It's not like we were trying to do it. It's nothing about us. It just sucked that they were mad. But luckily, Argentina.
Yep.
Yeah,
Buenos Aires is where our hotel was at. I can't remember the actual location of the show because it was a little bit of a drive. Our original hotel.
It was a drive, yes. Well, we had to get out 2 blocks early and walk because no vehicle could make it that far.
Oh, that's right. On our way back. No, you're exactly right. They made us, and so that was really sketching me out because I'm like, okay, first of all, we just all almost died back there. And now, second of all, they're dropping us off 3 blocks away from our hotel. And sure enough, we get to our hotel. We walk behind, the little back alleyways to our damn hotel. And they've got security guards around our entire hotel.
There was a riot squad waiting there. Like, come on. Come at me.
That's right.
You guys are just like, I just want to go to my room.
I just wanted to eat. That's the first thing. So...
And I think the same, Cooper.
So after we do with all that, like once we got it all loaded, I feel like they all cooled off. They're like, shit happens. And they left, I think. But when we got to the hotel, I went to Tweety's room and was like, hey, I'm really hungry. And I can look out this window and I see a KFC past the sea of 20,000 people in the street that have fireworks out of nowhere. Where did you see a fireworks shop at all while we were there? Nowhere. Exactly. No. There was none, but they had them. It was crazy. But no, it was awesome going through the crowd, and when they were doing weird chants and breaking windows, it's like, will I make it home with my KFC or not?
Yeah.
Your last meal is a KFC bucket. Like
He got KFC. I got some Burger King. I tried to order in Spanish, and I thought I was really cool because I got all the way through my damn order, and the lady asked, "What size do you want?" She asked me in Spanish, and I completely forgot how to say large in Spanish. I did great up until this point.
grande.
She goes, "What size do you want your drink?" And I was like, "Largo."
Largo.
Largo.
Did you really say
I
that?
really said that.
Largo.
It was really funny.
I didn't think it was
Don't
funny.
you live in Texas?
It was sweet. The whole experience was cool, to be honest, because they were just excited to win a soccer game, and that's what it led to. It's like, what? I'm glad you didn't lose.
I just tried to share a picture with us, and we can't share it for whatever reason. But it was a picture of us down in the pit with everybody. So we get
Which
down, we
one?
get out
I
the
got
pit,
it.
we go back to the hotel. We eat our food. It tasted like crap. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
It was a blackbird.
What we were able to do, being in downtown Buenos Aires, on top of our hotel was this rooftop that we could go and just party at. We could get drinks from the bar, go up there. Well, okay, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. We're feeling pretty good. We're having fun. Then 1 a.m. on the dot, the cops. It was 3?
3.
3? There's literally 3 on the dot. The cops and the riot squad decided they had no more. We're done with this. We're shutting it down. And boy, they got everybody. That sea of people. And when I mean a sea of people, Cooper, what do you think? There's probably 20,000 people in downtown at that point, maybe. I mean, the entire streets are just filled shoulder to shoulder with people. And the cops got everybody to scram. It was awesome. It was like, I've got video footage. One of these days, I'll show you. I didn't even think about showing that for tonight.
I got it on Snapchat. That's about it. But I mean, it's almost like you can't share it because they're shooting rubber bullets. Yeah. But they're in a line, and they go, if you do not move, we're shooting. And none of them moved. So it's ba ba ba.
There's people. There's like people just like passed out because they're knocked out from the rubber bullets and hitting their head on the ground. And we all think they're dead.
Oh yeah. Well, there was that, and then they figured out how to make a Molotov or Molly.
Yeah, that's right.
They made a Molly and threw it at the cop. It missed, so he hopped off and got face to face and pepper sprayed him, and then got back on the bike and left.
Oh my god,
it was crazy.
It was absolutely insane. Your dad and Lindsay.
Yeah, they were both.
Yeah,
was there? I think I talked to you like 10 minutes before all that took place.
Yeah, I was FaceTiming Lindsay, and then you guys were all on the rooftop watching.
It was crazy. Oh, I remember that.
So, needless to say, after that tour, I didn't want to go overseas anymore.
Okay, you can't complain that much. You got to go to probably one of the coolest overseas shows ever, and that was going all the way over to Africa.
Man, let's just embrace that moment.
You got to go to all the cool places. I did not.
What do you mean all the cool places? You were in Africa with me.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
You weren't?
No. You went there. I believe you were with Candace.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was with her in Saudi.
So I got to take that back then. Earlier in the show, I said we've done all of our overseas shows together. Yeah, I totally thought you were there. What the hell?
No, I wish, but no.
So you got to do the Saudi Arabia show.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, can we talk a little bit about that? Because I've heard a lot of like mixed stories from some of the guys when I was still employed over there. Some people were saying that a lot of people over there were welcoming to like Americans coming over there to their country. Others were saying that they were not very welcoming.
From what I saw, they were pretty welcoming. I'm not gonna lie. Anyone who made it to the show was cool. The security guards were cool. We didn't have that many people, but I think it's just where they placed us at the whole venue, which sucked because we were like in the back, and it's weird when you're here for monster trucks, but we're in the back. Like, put us in the middle.
And it wasn't just monster trucks; it was just huge automotive festival, wasn't it? And
all this people. I met Goldberg. I ran into Goldberg there.
Holy crap!
I just ran it. I was like, "Oh, hey there, Goldberg. What? Okay, cool." He was like, he said something, but I couldn't remember. I was just staring at him
for a car, like a new Ferrari or something.
He got mad because no one bought it, and he left.
Oh. I'll say this. You went to the Saudi tour. That's where you crewed for Candace. Is that right?
I crewed for Candace, yes.
So you got that exact same truck
Yep.
that I crewed on South Africa. So you can tell the world your honest opinion now. Was that truck in good shape when you got it, or was it not in good shape whenever you got it?
Yeah, I'd say it was. I accidentally let out the smoke, which is when you plug in the outlet to the 200 amp whatever, and you completely fry the onboard charger.
Oh man,
I did that on accident, and I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, oops, didn't mean to do that."
Yeah, man, it was probably Tweety. He had something to do with it.
Yeah, I just went to right at it and I blamed it on you.
No, Lashinsky brings up a good point because I just remember this. He's saying we were stuck in Philly when they went to Africa because I remember that because the other people who were crewing with GD11, I can't remember the names at the moment, but I was in Santa Clara, California with Andrew Ford with BKT, and we had to fly. We had to do a red-eye flight from Santa Clara to Philadelphia on Saturday night or Sunday evening. And we had an overlay in Detroit for like 2 hours. We landed in Philly at like 2, 3, maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. Had to go to the stadium the next day because that was when we had these like Harper tires that Monster Jam was experimenting on before the Cedar Fair trucks were built. And I remember being there because I think that was when Candace actually ripped the corner off of, or no, it wasn't Candace. It was someone driving Monster Mutt. I'm not 100% sure, but that's when they ripped the corner off the truck in freestyle. And
Damn.
just completely quiet. Awesome. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just never ripped a corner off from freestyle.
No, I just.
It wasn't her, it was someone else that drove
Yeah,
it.
I'm saying someone was driving. I just remember it was Mutt and Lashinsky was pissed. That's all I remember.
Oh, I got you. No, and what Cody Spencer's talking about in his comment about me losing oil pressure, he likes bringing this memory up because this was a kind of a peculiar thing that happened. This is, I don't know in the history of monster trucks this happened to anybody except for me, but Candace goes out to the final round of racing and she comes back. I'm looking over the truck and I look underneath the truck and there is just red fluid all over the place. So my immediate instinct is, okay, she's got a steering line broke or transmissions messed up or whatever. Well, Cooper, I don't know what kind of oil y'all were dealing with over in Saudi, but the oil, the color of the oil that we had in South Africa was actually red, just like transmission fluid. That's exactly what it looked like. I don't know what brand it was. Clearly, it wasn't Lucas Oil or whatever, but our resources led us to a 50-weight motor oil that was red in color. So when I did some more investigating, I was like, okay, this is motor oil. What the heck? And I looked at the oil filter housing, which if you know what an oil filter looks like, on most monster trucks, at least Monster Jam trucks, it's a flat pancake filter that you can actually take off the truck, clean all the metal shavings out of it or whatever, inspect it and put it back in. It's a very, very easy thing to do. It's just routine maintenance on those trucks.
Yeah.
Well, for whatever reason, I remember did an oil change on that truck prior, a few days before. And I noticed there's something odd about the bolts on that truck. I was like, oh, these are just some weird overseas bolts, whatever. Put them back in. What had happened in that race with just, the truck getting hot, pressure building up, whatever, the bolts actually backed out of place and all the oil was leaking out of the filter essentially right there, right on the floor. So there's no way to tell how much oil you lost. Who knows? She could have been spraying oil all over the track. So when she got back, I was like, hey, we got to take this thing up top. Well, there was a very long, narrow tunnel, and they would not let me bring the truck up top. They didn't want to bring a loader down that tunnel if they didn't have to. So she had to sit out two-wheel. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, God.
Pissed. She had to sit out two-wheel. Because, honestly, as a lot of people probably been freaked out, like, hey, this has never happened to anybody before. What do I do? It was a really simple fix. We had an oil filter housing up top.
Yeah.
It maybe took me 10 minutes to do on the track, and I wasn't even hustling. Like, it was a pretty simple fix to do.
Yeah.
But let me take her out. She was pissed, and she was mad at me for a minute. And then after the show, she kind of calmed down. She's like, look, that was totally out of your control, whatever. But, yeah, good times.
Did you have to kind of like talk crap into her ear while she freestyled?
I did, yes. And I hadn't had to do that to anybody before him because when I crewed for Zera's and XDP, he didn't want anybody to talk to him at all. Like, he's just like, don't ever. He goes, don't talk. He goes, you can tell me when I'm riding a wheelie and when I need to let it down. Other than that, he goes, don't talk to me. Todd liked to goof around on the headset a little bit, and Becky didn't necessarily want me to talk crap. She was like, hey, if I'm sucking, you need to let me know.
Yeah.
But so then I crew for Candace, and she's like, you got to talk shit to me while I'm driving. And I'm like,
You need to
no idea.
bully your driver.
That's basically what she said. She goes, you got to talk smack to me and let me know that I need to step it up. So
Exactly.
you know, because you crewed for her as
Yeah.
well.
Well, Steve couldn't do it, so I had to.
Really?
So every after 2-wheel, he just handed me his headset. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? And the funny part was, so anytime I tried, because I don't really talk crap that much at all, she just laughed. And I couldn't make her mad. I just made her laugh.
You told her, she told me this. You told her that people were booing her as she was driving.
I don't know what the limit is to talking crap on the radio. I don't want to. She goes, you just can't cuss. I'm like, oh, that takes out all the shit talk. What?
Yeah, that takes out all the good insults.
So I'm like, people are booing. They're leaving. Wow, I'm watching half the crowd leave. And she's like, you can't make me laugh. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. I'm not good at this.
So just real quick, we're running that right at an hour right now. And I knew it was going to run like this because we've had a lot to cover. I want you to talk, Cooper, just real quick, just briefly. You've got the crew for two legends in the sport, which is Neil Elliott and Tom Mintz. And here just not too long ago, you actually were his crew chief for a show. But I want you to just briefly talk about what it's like to crew for those guys who are obviously future Hall of Famers in the sport. You've had the opportunity to learn from them, learn from some really good crew guys up at Paxton as well. So just talk about it real quick.
It's honestly, I prefer it because they know when something breaks in a truck. They could just, it's an inner axle, or it's something's messed up in the rear. Check it out. So I honestly prefer that than a new driver that goes, steering's a little tight, and you can just go up there and tap on the rear steer and just be like, oh, how about now? And they're like, oh, much better. But no, I actually enjoyed it a lot. It was actually pretty cool because like Josh had his own problems to deal with. Lexi had a baby shower to deal with. So it was like, hey, here you go. You've been doing it for 5 years. Here you go. I'm like, all right, cool. And I feel like it all went fine. We won freestyle. We did some cool 2-wheel. I knew what to do mainly because of Josh, because it's been a while since I've been with Josh and Tom. So I was with him my first year, and then I actually left that tour because Lexi came into the picture, and she needed to learn. So Josh is always the one that picks you up. Yeah. So I was with Mason and Neil, and then almost every year I was with a new team, and it's crazy. I was with Josh and Dustin Davis. Then I went to Neil with Dustin Davis, Too Tall. No, it was Mason, Too Tall, and me. And then it was Dustin Davis, Steve Lashinsky. And then it was Ryan Thompson and Haas and me, which that's always
that's
fun.
right. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So it always varies. But being with Neil and Tom, I prefer that than any other driver. Just because they're experienced, they know what's going on, and they actually don't take it too. They take it serious, but they also can have fun with it. Especially with Neil, he'll just go out there and he won't wreck it too bad for practice. He wants to go out and have dinner that Friday night. But no, I actually think it's a big honor, especially just coming out of a small corn-fed town to then go to that. Yeah. I think it's cool, and would totally continue doing it for a while now, as long as everything goes well.
What's it like being on the headset with Tom? Is he very talkative?
So it's really just let me know like 1 minute, 30 seconds. That's about it. Neil,
does he speak that clearly?
Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the mic gets knocked away, so we just gotta be like, hey, just put the mic a little closer. But no, Tom, he talks a little bit. Just a little. He'll talk about the show and how's it going. But that's about it. He doesn't like, I could say he likes to talk, but it's really just if there's a question or we talk about the show while it's going on. Neil, we'll talk about anything. But on the radio, it's actually pretty flow.
So working with go ahead.
Okay. Both go ahead.
All right. So working with those teams. So would you say you have quite a bit of experience in having to use a loader in order to get those trucks in a trailer after a venue?
Yes. I had to do it in Arlington because we had a rear steer line go out, And I didn't really notice it until we already had the trailer packed, which I'm sure you all have experienced that, to where it's like, oh, I need in that drawer, but all the stuff's in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, all right, we're just going to load it with a trailer or a loader. And I was having all the trouble. And Steve was in there driving it, and it was just not going good at all. Me and him almost got in an illegal fist fight. But then BJ came over and was like, hey, like, you watched Josh do this before. Just remember what he did. I was like, oh, yeah. He just picked it all the way up. And so loading in with a loader is actually preferable, except for the Oklahoma one. That one was something that was awful.
Oakland.
Dude, Oakland is terrible no matter what about it. Yeah, you said Oklahoma.
The Oakland one, I don't want to talk about that at all. But yeah, with a loader, yeah, a lot, I could say.
Well,
Tweety, go ahead and ask your question.
Well, I'm trying to remember what the hell it was now because you asked a good question. And,
is it? Yeah, I know. I got you. I guess before we get close to closing out the stream, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody that's been sending us a bunch of footage and coverage over the weekend with all these amazing shows. You guys are absolutely awesome because we're only a small group of literally just 3. I mean, including my wife, but she honestly sometimes doesn't know exactly what to look for. She's like, big truck is big truck. So, so seriously, all you guys like Avengers Racing, The Best Jelly, Indie Monsters, all you guys that sends us pictures, videos of all things that are going on in the industry to help us cover these shows. Like, seriously, you guys are awesome. Thank you a million.
Yes, and special shout out to Nate Bay and Lynn Lampa for getting us the coverage this week on both the Miami, Oklahoma show and the show that took place up in Minnesota.
Yo, Avengers Racing, that guy,
dude,
pretty sick.
Yeah.
I see him almost every show I'm at.
Yeah, he's everywhere, man.
But listen, he always has the Instagram photo of the pizza, but he's never really offered me one, so I got to challenge him to a legal street fight.
Share a slice. Come on, Wayne.
Yeah, it's Wayne. God dang it. I'm so sorry.
So anyways, Cooper, thank you so much for joining us, my man. I'm
glad to be here after all this talk of you building up the show, and then you got Austin here. It's great to finally jump on here, to be honest.
Hey, it took a while. You know, you and I started talking about doing a podcast like right after the pandemic hit, and we never did it.
Bro, it would have been amazing. I don't remember what it was, but I think we're just going to do a ripoff of Bryce Kinney's and Adams.
Yeah. Instead of beers and nachos, we were going to do one called Beers and Ponchos.
Beers and Ponchos, yes. I think it would have taken off, not going to lie. Should have done it. But no, you got this one, and it's actually really sweet. Y'all passed me on YouTube. It only took you about a month and a half, but hey, it's way better than I've been on it for 2 years. Goddamn, y'all doing it right.
We're making strides, man. We're always learning different things. We actually shot a video for our YouTube channel that'll be up hopefully within the next few weeks, and did it completely different. It's not a live stream, so it's completely different. Nothing. We've never done anything like this before. I've never been a part of anything like that before. So y'all just keep up with our YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Go over to Frosty Boys and check out this stuff. Bump them up to 200 and let's compete. Frosty Boys versus Throttle Out show.
I'm at 189 now, so it'll probably be really slow to compete. I think y'all are about to blow up, and then I'll be like, see you guys.
But no, we should definitely do a challenge one day. Frosty Boys versus Throttle Out crew.
I'm down. I did it before, and I lost, so it ended up with me going through a table. But yeah.
Tweety, can I put somebody through a table?
Absolutely.
I'll challenge. I mean, first to 300 and lose or go through a table. I've done it before. I'll do it again, but with flame.
Oh, with fire.
Okay. Well, anyways, Cooper, once again, thanks for joining us. For everybody watching tonight, happy Father's Day to all you hardworking dads out there. And I don't care about the NASCAR stuff, but congratulations to Kevin Harvick and the Gravedigger team and everybody there at Stewart Haas Racing on, I think, placing 5th today. And then just for everybody, like Austin Spence said, for everybody who reaches out and sends us footage and keeps us up to date with everything going on the weekends, thank you so much. Remember, when in doubt, throttle out. Peace out, y'all. Good night.